Hello everyone, welcome back to Histories, Mysteries. This time here with my dad. Yes, it's on. And we're outside today, where we're going to be doing, the reason we're outside rather than inside is because it's such a beautiful day outside. Because why not? I mean, we're going to be, it's in the garden, not in the park.
And all the cars you can hear in the background and people and stuff, they're all breaking the quarantine.
Unless they're going shopping. Apparently, everyone was outside co-op, there was like a line and everyone was 2 meters apart in the line. Anyway, let's do today's episode of Histories, Mysteries on the Mary Celeste.
What's that then?
Listen, I'll tell you. Canada, Nova Scotia, 1861, not applicable. The ship Amazon is released from her docking port in Canada. It will later go on to be called the Mary Celeste. It was a 2-mast wooden sailing ship. During the ship's maiden voyage, the captain developed a cough with shortness of breath and a fever.
No!
No, he did not have
coronavirus!
It was the 1860s.
I knew that. I knew that virus didn't come from China.
Yeah,
it came from Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. Every time the captain yelled, he would go into a coughing fit. Some rumours from the crew suggested that when he pulled his handkerchief away from his mouth, there would be blood there. Soon the captain passed away from pneumonia. In 1867, the ship ran aground in Nova Scotia. The hull had a large crack in the bottom. Not long after, the ship collided with a second vessel in the English Channel. The owners of the cursed ship sold it to one Richard W. Haynes. It was he who renamed it to Mary Celeste. He made changes to the ship to make it seaworthy. Richard decided to sell the ship yet again to Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs. It was under his command that made the ship the legend that it is today. On November 7th, 1872, the ship set off from New York Harbor, trying to make its way across the channel to Genova in Italy.
Genoa. Surely. Oh, Genoa.
The ship had Benjamin, his wife, his 2-year-old daughter, and 7 other crew members. It was loaded with 1,700 barrels of crude alcohol. No one on that ship would ever be seen again. According to the captain's log that they found on the ship, nothing was going wrong. On December 4th, 1872, the Mary Celeste was found floating near the Azores Islands by De Glatia, not a soul on board the vessel. The only sound that was heard was the creaking of the floorboards of the ship, as the De Glatia crew searched the ship for the crew. Hi! Alright, let me say that again. The only sound that was heard was the creaking floorboards of the ship, as the De Glatia crew searched the ship for the crew of the Mary Celeste. All the cargo is intact with nothing missing. Navigational instruments such as compasses were still working on the ship. There were a few broken casks of alcohol, a missing lifeboat, and a frayed rope trailing behind the ship. There was 3.5 feet of water sloshing around in the bottom of the ship. There was a broken water pump at the bottom of the ship. Some say that the ship had been drifting for 11 days.
11 days?
Before it was discovered. Some members of the crew stayed aboard the Mary Celeste to sail to mainland Europe. Captain Morehouse contacted Frederick Solly Flood, the Attorney General in London. Under maritime law, a derelict ship must be examined before it can be claimed. This is to ensure no foul play was involved. They launched an investigation. After 3 months, they concluded there was no foul play involved in the crew's disappearance. Anything else so far?
All that means is that no one's tried to nick the ship by chucking all the crew overboard. That's what they presumably had to check. But how would they know? How would they know that the Del Gratia's crew hadn't just stormed it and lobbed everyone overboard?
3 months worth of investigation, Dad.
Yeah, but only the crew of the Del Gratia were really there. Only they would know.
In this part, I will discuss some of the theories of how the crew vanished. Let's start with the most believable one, is that they were attacked by a giant squid.
The most believable.
It involves sarcasm.
A kraken.
It's called sarcasm, Dad. This is not plausible, for according to my research, and by research I mean I watched an episode of Octonauts, giant squids live in the depths of the sea and don't come to the surface often. So Octonauts is teaching me something. Octonauts would not lie to me. Another theory is that they were attacked by pirates. If it was a pirate attack, then why did they steal the hundreds of pounds worth of alcohol? Like, they're either very picky pirates or they're just bad.
There would also be evidence of... There would be evidence of gunfire or something.
Ew. Okay, next one. In the book J. Habakkuk Jeffson's Statement by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, he believes that an angry slave took over the ship. However, he later claimed that this is a work of fiction. I mean, it's the same guy who wrote Sherlock Holmes, so...
An angry slave. Oh, yeah, Arthur Conan Doyle, yeah.
Yeah. One theory is that alcohol fumes could have caused panic among the crew.
Was 1,700 barrels of crude alcohol, and that is going to be highly volatile.
Yeah, because alcohol fumes can be fatal in that sort of environment.
If you put a match anywhere near that, the whole ship would blow up.
Yeah. What was I? Oh yeah. This kind of makes sense, but wouldn't explain the water pump. Another is that the crew decided to do a mutiny. The crew would then see land and head off in a lifeboat, but never make it to shore.
Why would you mutiny and then leave a perfectly good two-masted sailing ship with precious cargo floating in the sea?
Because they see land, they're gonna sail towards it in a little lifeboat.
Doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So
Right. Next theory.
Right. The theory proposed by Anne McGregor makes the most sense. It's that they were lost due to a miscalculation in navigation. Mistakes lead to panic, and panic leads to these people losing their lives. It also had a broken water pump which needed to be dismantled and repaired. More panic. Bad weather meant the ship took on water, and since the water pump was broken, they couldn't fix it. More panic. The captain then told the crew to abandon the ship and they were never seen again. Like I said, the last theory is the most plausible. Do you think that was the best one?
It's a very odd story, isn't it?
Yeah.
The alcohol fumes wouldn't necessarily cause them to panic, as it would knock them out. You'd find loads of knocked out people. Really.
Well, what if they smelled it and crap, we gotta leave.
Got hay fever. 3 feet of water.
3.5.
That's not much water, is it? It's that depth, which in the bilge of a sailing ship is not an unmanageable amount of water, is it?
They would have lost a water pump. They're meant to be 3, now they've got
So
2.
maybe what they did was they said, right, we've got time now to organise ourselves to get off the boat. So let's deploy the with lifeboats missing.
1 lifeboat was missing.
How many people were on the boat?
10.
How big's the lifeboat?
Bloody big.
That'd be a bloody big lifeboat.
I mean, one of them's a 2-year-old child, so.
Then they'll have taken off on the lifeboat, and they'll have got rough seas or something, inundate the lifeboat, sank it, then they're all in the water. You don't survive in Nova Scotian waters for very long.
Wasn't Nova Scotia dead, it was in the middle of the Atlantic.
Well, they're still miles.
It was in the Azores Islands.
They're miles from there. Oh, it's quite warm there. Could have a holiday. Maybe they're still there. It is my island in the sun.
Alright, I've scripted this entire thing. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next deep dive into history's mysteries and my investigation into the most perplexing murder of the 19th century, the board and axe murders.
I've not heard of those.
Yeah, it's a pretty underground case, but it's very perplexing.
Cool.